Maasai Mara National Reserve is a world-renowned safari destination and has been described as the seventh wonder of the world. Although the reserve boasts of among the largest concentration of wildlife, it is faced by an immediate and certain threat. A report released recently by scientists with the International Livestock Research Institute revealed significant declines in wildlife numbers at the reserve.
This report is based on a study we did in the Mara from 1989 to 2003, and it shows that there's been a dramatic decline in the number of many different animals there. But examples include the impala, the topi, the hartebeests, and other animals there. And the animals that we looked at and in which we found significant declines are just examples, because there are other species also which have declined substantially in this system, including the buffalo, for example, or the wild beast.
The study is based on a detailed monthly monitoring between 1989 and 2003 of 7 whole species in the Mara Reserve.
If you look at the human settlement that are encroaching around the Mara where the research was mainly done, you realize that there are so many villages that have sprung up. There are also unplanned urban settlements alongside the boundary of the Maasai Mara Game Reserve. And this is a strong indicator that these animals are losing their free-range grounds, their free-range ecological zones that they would go depending on seasons. So it means therefore that we have to really address the issue of human settlements in order for us to have a win-win situation where we have human settlements that are well coordinated in terms of planning, their spatial distribution and management of wildlife species in a way that brings in their numbers, that the ecosystem can support.
Pastoralists can survive together in the same place with wildlife, but if the density or the number becomes very large beyond a certain point, then that peaceful coexistence becomes difficult. But it is still possible for the Maasai to continue to live together with wildlife if they continue their pastoral lifestyle, and the way is found such that the numbers of people in any given place does not get to be so high.
Wildlife is by far the largest tourist attraction in Kenya. The Mara in particular contributes significantly to tourist revenue generation.
Kenya is an eco destination, and it's we call Kenya a biodiverse hotspot because within our borders we have some of the rarest wildlife, including birds and of course the plants, then the marine life as well. So if the numbers reduce, we would obviously expect the same to happen with the international arrivals to Kenya.
In light of these wildlife declines, the impact to the sector could be catastrophic.
I think the impact on tourism is that the tourists are not able to see some of the species that they like seeing. Like the wild dog, for example, as I said, are no longer available to be seen by tourists there. And the lions, the cheetahs and the leopards that the tourists also enjoy seeing are going down in numbers at present, so that it means that tourists will have to drive longer distances or spend more time looking for this species. So as a result, the attractiveness of the Mara for tourists would reduce in the longer term.
Over time, you will realize that you will have lesser and lesser to show as we continue to lose this wildlife. And it's going definitely to be reflected in terms of the interest of people. Maybe there are those tourists who would love to see giraffes, those who would like to see the rhino, those who would like to see the migration. And if you don't have, you have nothing to showcase. So there is therefore a serious problem accruing over time. If we continue losing this wildlife, then we'll definitely lose in tourism numbers.
It is imperative that immediate and decisive action be taken to address these declines, or else the demise of the tourism sector and indeed the livelihoods of the neighboring communities are imminent.
Ile kitu inatakikana Kitengela ni kitu inaitwa master plan. Community ile kitu inataka kutoka serikali.
What we need here is a master plan that clearly dictates boundaries.
Tupange kusema
The role of the government is pivotal in the sense that, first of all, it has to provide an environment in which all stakeholders can work together. It is the one that is going to provide the policy environment that is going to be, conducive towards all planners and all, stakeholders in terms of those who are going to plan for the wildlife, for plan for other land uses. And I think the role of the government is very critical. Security provision, infrastructure provision, alongside other development partners and other stakeholders like communities.
Kenya is a land of beauty and splendor. Any threat to this should be tackled to ensure that Kenya remains one of the top tourist destinations in the world.